everyone, welcome back to our podcast. Here we are with ESA Podcast and I have Noah as a guest for us today. Hello Noah, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. Thanks for inviting me here.
Okay, you are fine, Alhamdulillah. What have happened lately? I want to know that. Like lately, what really happened in your life?
Oh, not much really. I'm just focusing on studying. I'm in semester 6 now, so we have a lot to do.
Oh, I see.
Not so long anymore until we will
Okay.
work on our scriptsy. Yeah.
I see. And then, here we are on ESA Podcast, and we have a theme about the podcast, which is about the learning English method and how are you going to adapt here with background from German culture. And are you ready for the question?
Yes, of course. Silakan, bring it on.
Okay, now it's Saturday on 26 April 2025, and we are going to start the podcast. And now we are coming to the first question. Okay, Noah, can I speak English? Or do you want in Indonesian for this question?
Just you can mix it. It's up to you. I understand.
I see. Now, I'm going to ask you a question in Indonesian first. Nah, number one, menurut Noah sendiri, apa kesalahan umum yang paling sering dilakukan oleh mahasiswa atau mahasiswi PBI ketika mempelajari atau mempraktikkan bahasa Inggris di lapangan namun lagi-lagi belum mencapai titik perkembangan yang sangat signifikan? Do you get the question?
Wow, it's a very long question, but let me check. So, what are the common mistakes or something like that?
Yeah, it's a common mistake. Like, what is your way of learning English to become better, just like you from Germany?
Sure. Okay. So, I think one of the most common mistakes is, if we can even call that a mistake, because it's not the learner's fault, is a lack of practice. Every language is learned the fastest if we practice it regularly. Of course, the ideal setting to learn a language is to really travel to that country and be surrounded by native speakers all the time. But of course, not everyone can do that. So what I recommend is we have to try to surround us with the language that we are learning at all times, as much as possible. And maybe we can say a common mistake is that people are not doing that basically. Yeah,
I see.
Basically they just learn English in school or on campus, and as soon as they meet with their friends or get home, they switch back to their native language, bahasa Indonesia or Sunda or whatever. Yeah, and the progress that they made during that day is erased basically, because you fill your brain again with your native language, not with the language that you are actually learning. And it's much about attitude. Even at your home, no one can speak English.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
Yeah, it's no problem. You can still try your best. You can consume English media, try to have English conversations with your friends. There are so many ways to achieve that without, even you are not so lucky to have an environment that already speaks English.
Okay, I see. Jadi menurut Noah itu, katanya tantangannya adalah nggak semua orang tuh bisa keluar negeri buat immersing, buat pengalaman langsung, buat belajar bahasa. Tapi kita punya kesempatan nih, bersama teman-teman di sini yang punya minat yang sama dalam bahasa Inggris, kita tuh bisa mengembangkan bakat kita bahasa Inggris, walaupun kita nggak punya kesempatan buat keluar negeri. That's your answer, right?
That's my answer.
That's your answer. And then I have the second question. Okay, why do you choose to study here than other university? I want to know, because there are a lot of better university than this. I can admit that. And why do you choose to study here?
Okay, do you want the diplomatic answer or the
Oh yeah,
answer?
just answer honestly, like
Okay.
how you comfortable.
Yes, of course, maybe, you're right. There are a lot of better universities, but actually I slid into here because I have some friends that work here in this university, and they asked me if I wanted to study here, and yeah, I didn't have this whole thought process about searching a university that I like or something like that. I just kind of accepted it and thought, okay, sure, why not? I didn't make a survey to other universities if they are better ones or ones that more have better facilities or something. But yeah, Alhamdulillah, I think I'm comfortable here.
Alhamdulillah ya.
And yeah, so I want to get my S1 here and then let's see about the future.
Oke, basically Noah tuh bilang katanya dia kuliah di sini karena punya temen yang ngajar di sini. Nah, kita boleh spill gak sih siapa temennya? Siapa tuh temennya tuh?
Oh, it's a secret.
Oh, it's a secret, but we all know the friend, right? Okay, but Noah, if I ask you bluntly, do you think you choose to be here because it's easier compared to the national university, which is harder?
I haven't tried
You haven't
to study
tried, of
at the
course.
national university, but yeah, I think if you attend a national university or maybe just a bigger university in general, the standard there is maybe a little bit higher.
Yeah, of course.
But if you say it's easier, I cannot really agree, only because maybe the English part is easy here, but it would be also easy if I attend another university. And the Bahasa Indonesia part, which is also not so small, I would struggle there as well at another university because I'm still learning Bahasa, so maybe it doesn't really make a big difference.
Okay, so for Noah, learning here is as difficult because she is foreign people, right? And she's not Indonesian, so it's a new struggle for him to learn Indonesian too. So it's 2 times harder for him. But compared to German language and Indonesian language and English language, which one do you think is easier to learn?
Indonesian language.
Really?
Yes, definitely because Indonesian language has far less rules about grammar. So many words are interchangeable and have many different meanings, and I think you can do a lot more mistakes and people still understand you if compared to English or German. If a real beginner tries to speak, it's sometimes hard to get their point, what they're actually talking about, right? If you have very limited vocabulary and your grammar is all over the place. But in Bahasa Indonesia, you can get away with that.
Nobody complaining about Indonesian,
yes,
right?
No one is complaining, and also the expectation. I think if people are always happy here in Indonesia if people try to speak Bahasa Indonesia. If I compare that with Germany, for example, if someone tries to speak German, we tend to get a little bit, we don't want to burden them. So we very fast to switch to English to make it easier for them.
Oh, I see. So you switch to English in order to people to understand you?
No, the opposite. For example, if I'm in Germany and there's a tourist or foreigner in general, and they try to converse in German, and I know he is struggling, I will just say, it's okay, we can speak in English, you don't have to try.
Okay. But that's amazing thing for German people to be bilingual, right? And since you say Indonesian is easy, could you say something in Indonesian, like a sentence maybe?
I didn't say it's easy, okay?
Okay.
Maybe just easier compared to English and German.
Okay.
Still, I have to be humble.
Okay, you have to be humble.
Not easy to learn. Still, it's a very long journey, of course, especially because I'm not attending any Bahasa classes or something. I'm just doing that every single day when I talk to people, and simply by repeating the same sentences over and over again, at some point you get it. But more complicated topics like here in university, it's hard sometimes to understand for me and to follow the docent what they're actually talking about.
Okay. Yeah. And then we are going to next question. So, apakah? Wait, let me read the question first. Okay, what do you think about Germany, especially Berlin? Because I saw some reels on Instagram that Berlin is so-called city that is really, really open-minded. Like, what do you think about that?
Well, yeah, I've been to Berlin a few times, and yeah, it's right what you said. It's very open-minded because it's the capital. You can compare it with Jakarta. Yeah, a lot of people come together there from all over Germany and all over the world. So they bring a lot of different influences, and yeah, when so many people mix, of course they tend to be more open-minded than if you compare to the
Jakarta?
No, if you compare to a kampung or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
That's
the same in
understandable.
Jakarta, right? Maybe some people will judge you for something here or in a village that they will not judge you for in Jakarta, right?
Oh yeah, I see. So it also suitable in Germany that in the city people are open-minded, but in the village people are more traditional.
Exactly.
Okay, I see. And then the next question, is there any different cultural in learning when it comes to Indonesia and Germany, especially when it comes to speaking English?
Yeah, good question. The biggest difference in learning that I noticed so far is about the pressure. Okay, it's maybe I'm wrong. Okay, but it's just my observation. I think children or students in Indonesia have not so much pressure from maybe their parents or society in general, but in Germany it's a huge thing. Your parents will pressure you so much to have good grades, and because it will shape your whole future.
I see.
Maybe in Indonesia, if you are from a rich family, but you are a lazy student and you don't really have good grades, your future can still be successful, right?
Of course.
They will just pay for you so you attend a good university and you will find a good job afterwards. But in Germany, it doesn't matter how rich you are. If you don't have good grades and show good results in school, you can really mess up your future, and it will be a lot harder later to find a good job or even to attend university. Not everyone can attend university in Germany.
I get it. So in Germany or other countries, education is the number one thing, right? But here, Indonesians tend to be really flexible about education. Sometimes parents just don't care about the grades and all. But in Germany, they really pay attention to the grade of the students, right?
Let me give you an example. It's not so much about the parents only here.
Okay.
It's the whole education system. I don't know if that's everywhere the same, but if a student has very bad grades, right? He will still night class, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be like that, because if you have bad grades, it either means you are lazy or you just didn't understand the material. Either way, you shouldn't progress to the next class, right? You should take your time to repeat the class the whole year if that's needed, so you understand what you're learning. Because if you don't do that, it will accumulate, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you didn't understand the material from class 1, but you're already in class 2. How can you understand the material in class 2 if
that's understandable.
Yes, and it will accumulate, and it will lead to students that progress through all classes and eventually graduate from SMA, from high school, and they haven't learned a lot.
Oke, jadi menurut Nuwah tuh, sistem pendidikan kita tuh terlalu aneh ya. Karena misalkan nih di kelas 1, ada yang belum bisa baca tapi dinaikin. Karena nggak enak tuh gurunya, ya kan, seperti itu. Sementara kalau di Jerman, kalau ada murid yang belum ngerti itu, udah diam dulu di kelas 1, jangan ditaikin. Right?
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Repeat the class.
Yeah, repeat the class. It's not a shameful thing to do, right? If the student is not good yet, it's better to put there in the first class, right? Instead of just going up and he doesn't understand anymore.
It's a shameful thing.
Of course,
But
I guess.
I mean, he will be ashamed, of course, but it's better for him, right?
Yeah.
For the student's future than to just say, okay, you progress to the next class, because his grades will not improve. It's mostly an issue about understanding or about concentration, and that will not improve if we just put him to the next class, which is usually even more hard, right?
Of course,
Will not
it's
get
harder. And yeah, it kind of remind me of a Japanese culture that is really strict about education. And I saw your Instagram page that you ever went to Japan last year. And how was the experience there?
Wow, okay. You did your research.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, I just went there as a tourist, not to visit schools or something, but in some ways, many things reminded me of Germany. The streets are very clean, people have a lot of discipline, and to be honest, I love Japan because maybe it's the last country that maybe it's because mass immigration, they didn't do that, right? They are very strict about immigration politics, so they kept all of their original culture. Some people say it's something good, some people say it's something bad. In Europe, that so many immigrants come and they bring their own culture. There are good and bad sides, but it's very nice to see countries like Japan that kept everything like it was
traditionally.
Yes, and kept their culture pure. And the most was what surprised me the most was about the discipline. The people have it's insane. For example, they will not cross the street if the lampu merah is red. Even it's a tiny street, there are no cars. They will not cross the street.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Jadi kalau di Jepang itu dari dulu nih, aku notice mereka tuh lebih fokus ke budaya mereka gitu. Jarang-jarang ada orang Jepang sukanya ke budaya orang lain gitu. They really keep their tradition to themselves, like they really keep it stronger. Compared to here, like a lot of people really like Korean culture, Japanese culture, like they really like a lot of things. But what about our traditional culture, right? I think we have to learn something from this, don't you think?
Yes. Indonesian traditional culture, you mean?
Yeah. We have a lot of cultures.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like nowadays people be like, yeah, I like Korean culture, I like Japanese culture, that kind of feeling. And I feel like we have to pay attention more to traditional culture.
Yes, of course. I mean, Indonesia has so many different cultures, right? Sundanese, Japanese, and so on. And I think that's something to be proud of because, they are all very different.
Ya, karena kalau bukan kita yang budidayakan, siapa lagi gitu.
Yes.
Ya kan? Of course. And then the next question. Okay. What is the struggle when you learn English as a second language? Apa sih tantangan kamu ketika kamu belajar bahasa Inggris sebagai orang Jerman?
Struggles for me?
Yeah.
Maybe the same struggles like everyone else. It doesn't matter if you're a German or Indonesian or Japanese. The struggles are maybe the differences between your native language and bahasa Inggris, differences in meaning, differences in grammar, to get all of that right.
Yeah.
And basically like translate everything in your mind before you speak. It's challenging maybe, and for me, I also learned English as a second language.
Oh, I see. So it's the same thing for Noah. Mau kita orang Indonesia atau orang Jerman, English itu ada tantangannya, kadang susah, kadang gampang juga. But for Noah, I think it's the same for all of us. Jadi ya, kita tuh sama-sama struggle. Kadang Noah itu mungkin struggle di bagian grammar, sementara kita di pronunciation. We have our own struggle to study English, and it's not a bad thing. We have to learn and keep going.
Yes. There are different types, there are different learners, right? Types of learners. Some people prefer to learn visually or just by practicing.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm definitely better in practicing things.
Oh, I see.
Yes, because when I learned English in elementary school, in SD, I wasn't really good at it and I had no interest in the language also. I just, for me it was just a mata pelajar like any other, like math or whatever, and I had no personal connection with the language because at home I didn't speak English with my parents.
Of course, you only speak German, right?
Yes, and it all changed for me when I was 13 years old in class 7 maybe, I made a trip to the USA with my grandpa because I have some extended family there. And after that, because I was forced to speak English there, wanted or not, if I don't speak English, they will just not understand me at all, right? It all changed because suddenly I had this personal connection because the theory that I learned in class, it was not only theory, because now I could practice that.
You finally implemented it in the US, and you finally be like, oh my God, I can speak English right away with the native people. And that is the one thing that makes you keep motivated to keep learning, even until now.
Yes, even until now.
Okay, the next question. Now I want to ask about staple food. So in Germany, people say that they only eat bread as a staple food. And I'm so curious, what type of bread do you usually eat for breakfast or maybe lunch and dinner in Germany?
It's not only bread.
It's not only bread. First of all, it's wrong.
No, it's true. Maybe you can compare Indonesian nasi with
rice.
German bread, but it's not only bread. Usually German people eat 3 times per day. They don't snack a lot during the day. It's really just 3 times: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. For breakfast and dinner, usually we eat bread. That means a cold cuisine. We don't cook something. For breakfast, maybe just bread and put something on top, like a spread or cold cuts, like sausage, like slices of sausage or cheese, or something sweet like Nutella. It depends. And usually the big meal during the day, especially if you're a worker or you're a student, it's lunch. And lunch has to be something warm for most people. And during lunch we don't eat bread. No, because it's not so filling, right? I mean, you have to eat a lot of bread to make you really full. So for lunch, it's interchangeable. Maybe rice, or
you
pasta.
can eat anything flexible when it comes to lunch.
Yeah, just something big usually.
Makes you full.
Yes, because it recharges you. And
energy.
For breakfast, for me, I never really ate breakfast when I was in school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I was in elementary school, my mom, she prepared breakfast for me. But when I was in high school, I prefer to sleep 10 minutes longer and then straight go to class than having breakfast.
Oh, so you skip breakfast? Oh my God. But don't you think breakfast is really superficial, really important for you, but you choose to skip it? Why is that?
Well, I don't know. I think it just comes down to personal preference.
It's not your thing for having a breakfast.
You're right. It's important. It should be the most important meal of the day. A lot of people say that. But as a student, you're always hectic in the morning. You don't have a lot of time. And for me, I was never in the mood to sit down, to wake up 20 minutes earlier, sit down, prepare breakfast. So it slept a little longer.
I see, I get it. Now I want to tell you this. Someone say that in Germany, there are over 1,000 of types of sausage. Is that true?
I haven't counted them all. There are many different types of sausages, but because most of them are from pork, I haven't really tried
You are
them.
Muslim, right?
Yes. But sausage is, maybe if you can choose one food that represents Germany, maybe it would be something with the sausages, maybe?
Oh yeah, but I know one sausage. It's called bratwurst.
Oh yeah, that's...
Do I spell it right? No, okay.
Very good.
Okay.
I understand what you mean.
Okay.
It just means sausage for frying. The skin of the sausage is usually a little bit thicker, so it doesn't burst open. And I think I've seen that in Indonesia too, from Kanzler.
Yeah, Kanzler. Okay, it's similar, right?
Yeah.
And then I want to ask you this. Is it true that German people tend to be multilingual? Let's say some German people are good at French or maybe Italy or maybe Spanish. I wonder if it's true.
Yes, I guess so, because we have to learn a minimum 2 languages in school.
Sure.
So English is always the first one that we learn, and most people learn a second language as well in school. For me, it was French. I learned French for maybe 6 years.
Oh, really? That's a long time. Can you say something in
No.
French a little bit?
It was a long time,
Oh,
and it was
okay.
a long time ago.
But do you want to hear me speaking in French?
You can speak French?
Yeah, I can, a little bit.
Okay, you
Only if you recognize it.
can. Silakan.
Ok, bonjour, je m'appelle Wiwin, je suis très contente de vous retrouver. Et j'ai étudié français pour 4 ans. Et yeah.
Okay. Yeah, hello, my name is Wiwin. Skip. I'm a student for Bahasa Prancis for 4 years.
Yeah, of course, I'm a
okay.
student.
Wow, very cool.
Okay, but I think the pronunciation is kind of stiff because it's been a long time, but it's okay. And yeah, can you spell croissant?
Croissant.
Yeah, that's right. And is there any other bread that is spelled so unique compared to croissant? That do you think everyone has to know this kind of bread?
French bread?
Yeah, whether it's French or Germany, like you want to show everyone here that this bread is tasty, this bread is unique, that you want everyone to know.
So I'm becoming like the bread ambassador
Okay.
or something. I like bread, okay, but maybe, oh yeah, I really like one type of French bread. It's their staple food. They buy that every single day, fresh usually.
Okay, let me guess. Is it baguette?
Yes.
Okay, it's baguette, everyone.
It's a very long bread, and you can either cut it into pieces and just eat it plain and accompany your main food with that.
And from what I heard, baguette is actually hard. It's not soft, right?
Wow,
Baguette, bro.
It's crunchy on the outside and soft on the inside.
It's the combination.
Yes, but it gets hard very fast. So usually, if you buy a baguette, you have to consume it on the same day. If you leave it just in the kitchen for one day, it won't be nice. It will be very hard, and you can't eat it anymore.
That's why French people usually cut the bread using knife, because sometimes when it's cold, it's hard.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's understandable. And then the next question, someone want to learn English. Nah, ada nih orang yang mau belajar bahasa Inggris. Menurut kamu harus mulai dari mana katanya?
Harus mulai mungkin dari nonton YouTube.
Nonton YouTube, okay.
Yeah, I mean it sounds silly, but it's the truth. The way when I first arrived in Indonesia, I forced myself to watch Netflix shows in Bahasa Indonesia with English subtitles, and after a while, I learned some words from watching that, and just do the same but inverted. Maybe watch the show in English. It's better anyway. If you watch it in the original language, it's always better.
Always better. Jadi guys, menurut Noah tuh, kalau mau belajar efektif, ada unsur mainnya. Misalkan kita nonton YouTube atau dengerin musik, apapun itu. Karena dengan senang-senang, kita juga bakal terus termotivasi buat belajar bahasa Inggrisnya. That's true, right?
Yes, and especially maybe our generation is different, but the generation Z?
Oh, Gen Z.
Maybe, I don't know, like the children who are like in TK now. I don't know.
Gen Alpha ya?
Oh, Gen Alpha, sorry.
Gen Alpha.
The Gen Alpha, that's how they learn English. And I teach in an elementary school.
Oh, really? That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. And I teach in class 1, and a lot of them can already speak English. Maybe not perfect, but a lot better than I did when I was in their age. Or most other children in Indonesia. It's because all day they just watch some stupid YouTube videos on their iPad maybe, and they're usually in English from American content creators or something. So they repeat by themselves. Even they don't plan to learn English, but it happens automatically. And yeah, if we can do that consciously, I mean, we watch that on purpose, not just accidentally, that's even better.
Yeah,
and focus on the language. if little kiddos can do that, so can we, right?
Yeah, of course. Jadi kata Noah tuh, buat Gen Alpha nih anak-anak sekarang, mereka tuh lebih fleksibel karena zamannya udah pada iPad sama HP gitu. Mereka mainnya nontonnya di situ, lihat YouTube atau apapun itu. Dan menurut Noah itu tuh bagus banget karena banyak banget nih pelajaran yang bisa dipelajari dari situ. Compared to us in the past, dulu kan kita tuh belajar pakai buku lah, kaku banget kan.
Yeah.
Sekarang itu udah fleksibel, ada teknologi. Makanya Gen Alpha itu kata Noah cepet belajarnya. Compared to us in the past, like we don't even understand what is English, of course. Aku juga dulu waktu kelas 1 nih, sebenarnya nggak bisa ya bahasa Inggris. Cuman waktu kelas 7 aku baru nyadar, aku nonton YouTube lah, musik lah, apapun itu. Aku juga dari situ, akhirnya aku bisa juga kan. Okay. Jadi honestly, it's not only about the teacher, but also about our habit, kebiasaan kita. Okay.
Maybe even more about our habit than about the teacher, because it doesn't matter if we have the best teacher in the world. If we don't change our habit, then we will not improve.
Of course.
Usually, because a teacher, especially in the class, he has to tend to 30 kids, right?
Yeah, of course.
He cannot give his whole attention to just one and teach them one-on-one. So, our behavior, that's the key. For anak SD and also for us who are in university.
Okay, since you're also learning from YouTube and other platforms, do you have any channel recommendation for us to learn English? Or maybe you watch something on Netflix that you think, oh my god, this is amazing?
Sure, maybe on Netflix. Okay, I can tell you first with what show I learned Bahasa Indonesia. It was Stranger Things. They have that dubbed in Bahasa Indonesia on Netflix. Indonesians told me for them it's very weird to hear that, but for me it helped me a lot because their bahasa is very formal. It's not how people talk in Indonesia.
Really, baku banget ya bahasanya. Kalau di Netflix tuh, kalau film-film tuh kan,
Yes, and but if you watch it in English, it's very natural, of course. They talk how people in America talk.
I see.
So,
it's like people in Indonesia only translate and then speak it with no correction at all. That's why itu kedengarannya baku banget.
There's correction, but it's not wrong, because the dubbing is made by Indonesian native speakers, of course, but it just sounds a little bit off. People told me that, of course, I can't judge that because, that's not how people talk, maybe, the message sometimes changes, right? Based on the tone, based on the context. So if I say the same sentence twice, but in two different languages, sometimes it can come across
weird, kind of off. Jadi menurut Noah tuh katanya kalau nonton film dubbing Indonesia itu terlalu baku katanya, nggak sesuai sama sehari-hari kita nih. Makanya Noah tuh ngerasa kayaknya aku harus improve deh, karena menurut Noah tuh kalau Netflix doang itu nggak cukup. Nanti dia malah belajar kata-kata baku doang. Tapi sebenarnya yang kita pakai kan informal ya, sehari-hari gitu. That's why you have to implement it. That's why Noah bilang lebih bagus kita terjun ke lapangan, ngomong langsung sama orang-orang sini, including me. The last time we met is like 2 years ago in English club, don't you think? You used to join English club, but not anymore. And what is the best experience from that?
From English club?
Yeah, in the past, really.
It's
long time ago.
It's fun. It was fun. I have not really attending any campus activities so much lately anymore because I'm kind of busy with work and studying, so it's a little bit hard sometimes to find time for that. But sure, any activities where we can practice our English at campus with our friends, it's very good and beneficial for us, especially if it's fun in a fun way, not just formally discussion or something. Nah Noah, menurut Noah nih udah berapa tahun nih di Indonesia tuh? Udah 4 tahun.
4 tahunan. Nah selama 4 years experience, 4 tahunan ini, menurut Noah, apa hal terbaik yang terjadi pada pengalaman Noah di Indonesia? Maybe it's food, maybe it's the people here in Indonesia. What's your personal experience?
It's definitely the people, because the food is sometimes a little bit hard to get used to, but the people are the thing that kept me here until now, because the Indonesian people are always very warm, friendly, open, and that's not the same in every country. But Indonesians are very open and friendly, and I like that.
Jadi kata Noah tuh Indonesia tuh spesial karena orang-orangnya itu lebih ramah dibandingin sama warga negara lainnya gitu. Compare to Jerman atau Jepang gitu, kita tuh lebih open buat nolong, buat enggak sungkan banget kan. Kita tuh ngobrol walaupun sama strangers kan. It's not a bad thing and it's pretty common. Especially let's say you are in angkot, kamu di angkot, and then you talk to strangers and you feel fine about it.
Yes.
Of course. But yeah, I think, do you have any opinion about Indonesian that you think we need to fix, whether it's the habit or like in a way of learning English?
Only about learning English or in general?
In general, you could say anything.
Okay. Maybe it's about discipline or something like that.
Yeah, of course.
There are a lot of things that slow down the process of Indonesia as a nation. Let me just count like something like corruption, gratifikasi,
of course.
Being late.
Yeah, a lot of issues, don't you think?
Yes, and it's not only about something small like at campus, but the whole country has to improve. So they are competitive with other countries in the world, and a lot of problems may come from the attitude, even though Indonesian people have a very good attitude. Also, work ethics, I think it's good, but maybe try to do a few things more effective, and something like about infrastructure, to fix the roads, to get to connect people, something like jalan tol. Every time I travel somewhere and it's 100 kilometers only and I take like 6 hours, I think if there would be a jalan tol, it would have taken me
faster, easier,
less than an hour, and now it wasted 6 hours of my precious time. So that's something. If I would be a friend of the president, I would tell him to please fix that.
Jadi Noah itu bilang kita tuh sebagai orang Indonesia tuh harus menghargai waktu, karena kalau di Jerman tuh mereka tuh nggak telat, disiplin apapun itu, dan kita tuh terlalu fleksibel terkadang ya. And I feel like we need to change from ourselves first. If you want to change for the bigger things, like if you want to go to campus at 7, then you have to go at 7. Don't late like that. But it's a bigger things, and we need time to change.
You should fix that, because if you have to go to campus on 7, don't try to be there on 7, because you will be late 5 or 10 minutes. Try to be there at 6:50, because then you will be there on 7, because Indonesia, especially the traffic, is unexpectable, right?
Yeah, of course.
And there will always be something. We are just humans, so we have to always try to be better, and not just give what's asked from us, but even more than that, right?
Yeah, of course. Ya, seenggaknya lah kalau misalnya kita tuh ada kemacetan, kita tuh berangkatnya harus lebih awal supaya datangnya tepat. Dan disiplin itu penting banget in order we can be able to be in the same level with the developed country like Germany. And then, any more question, or should we just close it?
Boleh.
Okay, I feel like this one is special. Noah, since I already asked you a lot of questions, why don't you ask me something?
Okay, how about your learning experience? Where did you learn English or other languages? You like languages a lot, yeah?
Yeah, I like a lot. So my experience is that I learned a few languages like English, also including German, Japanese, Korean, and Spanish and Italy. But it's an experience. I only focus on 4, and I feel like it's because our own motivation. The way we want to learn is because the entertainment. Like you idolize someone, you like some type of show, and then you learn something. It's pretty much the same, just like you, don't you think?
So it's just like your hobby.
Yeah, it's my hobby. It's not really formal, but I like to do it every single day.
That's good.
Okay.
Useful in the future, to the more languages you speak, the more opportunities you have, maybe.
Of course, amin. Nah, sekarang nih, for the closing, can you say one message for everyone here? One message that you think is very valuable for everyone?
Sure. Maybe never give up in what you're doing, and especially never get tired of learning, because learning is always a process, and we always will hit some wall at some point where we feel there is no progress, or we feel it's too tiresome. But that's the point. If we overcome that, then we have actually learned something. And if we give up on the stage, then yeah, we will stop the learning
I
process.
see. Everyone applause for the message. So I feel like this is gonna be the last part of the podcast. Thank you so much, Noah, for coming to our ESA podcast. And I want to say thank you because you are already coming far away from Germany to here, even though you are living in Ciandam. And I'm so glad that you are here. Okay, applause again, everyone. Alright, so my name is Wiwin Winarti, and I'm going to close this podcast ESA right now. And Noah, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.